Built in 1709, Buckman Tavern holds a special place in American history, as it was the gathering place of the Lexington militia on the morning of April 19, 1775, and was witness to events that would mark the beginning of the American Revolution. Near 5 a.m. on April 19th, Captain John Parker and 82 militiamen gathered outside Buckman Tavern, on or about the Common. As dawn arrived, the British troops approached with weapons drawn. Parker, greatly outnumbered, quickly ordered his men to disperse. In the chaos, a shot was fired, although it is unclear by whom. When the smoke cleared, 8 Americans lay dead, with 10 more wounded. The British continued their march toward Concord. Buckman Tavern is an essential stop for anyone interested in America's road to independence. It provides context to the events leading up to the battle on Lexington Common, as well as background on the personalities that shaped this pivotal event. Diamond was the drummer of Captain John Parker's company, who sounded the alarm summoning the members of the Lexington militia to the Common on April 19, 1775. John Parker had been elected captain of the Lexington militia. On April 19th, he left his wife Lydia and 7 children behind to lead his men. Parker stood against the British despite being terminally ill with tuberculosis, of which he would die less than 6 months later. It is believed that Joshua Simons carried the saber on the morning of April 19, 1775. According to family accounts, Simons went into the meeting house looking for gunpowder when he heard the British making their way into town. Fearing discovery by angry British regulars, Simons thrust his musket into an open powder cask and vowed to blow up the building if the British found him. Jonathan Harrington was the last survivor of the Battle of Lexington and lived into the era of photography. This 1850 daguerreotype was taken 4 years before his death at the age of 96. In 1775, Buckman Tavern was located across the street from the town common and meeting house at the junction of 2 major roads. This location made it a perfect resting and meeting spot for a variety of people. On weekdays, the tavern serviced both locals and travelers coming to and from Boston. On Sundays, churchgoers stopped in for lunch in between sermons. Doing laundry was a multi-day process involving boiling linens in a copper pot with a light dye called bluing to mask yellow stains. Herbs from the garden outside could be used in the preparation of food, medicine, cleaning products, insecticides, and potpourri. Milk from the Buckman's 5 cows was used in cooking or preserved for months as butter or cheese, using a butter churn or cheese basket. John Buckman, along with his wife Ruth, were third-generation owners of the tavern. Ruth's grandparents first opened the business in 1713, and she ran it with her mother after her father's death. John also grew up in Lexington, where his parents ran a small shop. Together, Ruth and John combined their business skills to grow the tavern into a thriving community space. The kitchen was John and Ruth Buckman's main private workspace as tavern keepers. It combined John's office for handling the finances of the tavern and Ruth's hearth for cooking. The Buckmans also listened to snippets of seditious conversation on the other side of the wall in the tap room. Running a business during the tumultuous days before the American Revolution was no easy task. The Buckmans had to navigate unpopular British taxes, boycotts, and blockades that all led to food becoming scarce. Each choice they made carried political weight and marked the tavern as a patriotic place of business. Working at Buckman Tavern, Ruth Buckman surely felt the stirrings of revolution. But as a woman, she could not hold an official position in town, vote, or take up arms. Town meetings generally happened at the meeting house across the street, but this cozy room was convenient in cold weather or when meetings had to be held in secret. Town meetings continued even after they were outlawed by the British Parliament. In a town of about 800 people, only adult white men that owned land were eligible to vote. Those few who were eligible squeezed into this room to make decisions for the entire town. Buckman's portrait watched over tavern patrons as he served guests and joined in their conversations. Buckman was on Captain Parker's militia roster. People from all backgrounds met at the tap room's bar to discuss politics over glasses of beer and flip, a hot mixed drink made with molasses, egg, and a variety of spirits such as rum. In the early morning of April 19th, political ideas became a stark reality as an alarm bell outside summoned Captain Parker's militia to gather, unsure if Paul Revere's news of an impending British raid was true or merely rumor. As the sun rose, they marched outside to the beat of William Diamond's drum, sealing their fate. The 100 years between the start of the American Revolution in 1775 and its centennial in 1875 saw immense changes in the nation. The 13 colonies had evolved into a republic of 37 states, with a total population that had increased from approximately 2.5 million to 38 million people. In the United States, first 100 years, people from all walks of life debated the question, who is American? Some rights for African Americans had recently been granted through passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, and female suffrage movements had enjoyed rising success. At the same time, however, xenophobic and anti-indigenous movements worked to limit the rights of others. The centennial, the Lexington Historical Society observes, presented an opportunity to consider what it meant to be American and how its shared history can be used to create a common identity. Over 100,000 people traveled to Lexington from Boston and surrounding towns, causing an enormous traffic jam. Passengers packed the train cars so full that some attempted to find seats on the roof. Instead of traveling from Concord to Lexington by train as planned, guest of honor President Ulysses S. Grant was forced to take a carriage and was late for the procession. To commemorate those who fought in 1775, residents temporarily revived the Lexington Minuteman as an honorary battalion. Children also participated in the celebration, including 8-year-old Benjamin Muzzy.